everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome to a fun video today where we are simply going to look through and flip through some pretty papers. Now this is a paper category of what I consider story-based papers, but it's simply just pretty papers, almost too pretty to use, but I say you let those papers do the work for you and you could create some story-based layouts, no photo needed. And so listed below, if you hit the show more button, there will be some more talk about paper categories. You could look into some more videos about that, and then also too some start to finish videos where we talk about and also play with more story-based layouts, because you don't absolutely have to have a photo to create a layout about a story in your life. No, absolutely. So this is a new category for me. It's in no particular order. It's just simply a chunk of paper that I put into a category called story-based papers. And so this is in front of my Cartabella, because Cartabella right now is in front and center in my space. Probably will be for some time, because I love Cartabella paper. And you'll see a couple of Cartabella papers in here. And so I'll just talk as I flip through this. And so all I have this separated by, my divider, is my copy paper. That's all it is, just simply a piece of copy paper, because for me, in my space, that tells me something's ending, something's starting. And so the first paper here, and I will talk about who it is in case anybody would want to look into them, because some of these, well, most of these are probably newer, they're not older. But if I do run across something in my space and it triggers a story or something I think I could do as far as a layout, I will just simply take it out of that pile it's in and put it in this pile. So this is by One Canoe 2. They have great papers for story-based, and this is an example. The back is just ho-hum. It's nothing, but this is the showstopper right there, and that is called Summer's Trail. That's the Goldenrod collection. Very pretty. And so again, you could do, and here's what a story-based layout is for me. It can be your interpretation, is that this would be your paper, this is your design, this is your color scheme, and this is your photo. You would just simply do a title and you know, some journaling, or title and journaling, and then you could just add a few embellishments. Very quick to do, but it's also getting all those stories out of your brain and off your to-do list and out of your paper. You know what I'm talking about. And so there's one. Here is Reminisce. Now, I will tell you, I sometimes like this company and sometimes I don't, because I have no idea when I'm getting this paper. If I don't see it in person, I try not to buy it online, because you just don't know if you're getting a thin piece of paper or you're getting a quality piece of paper, and it's all the same price. I cannot figure this company out for the life of me. I have even contacted them and said, which collections have heavy paper, which collections have thin paper? I never did get a concrete answer. So I don't know what's going on with this Reminisce. If anybody knows, please share with me. And this right here is such a nice piece of paper. I don't think they're getting top billing, and I don't think they're getting exposure for some of the beautiful papers they have, because in some of their collections, the paper is very wimpy. I wish this company would get it together. Maybe they have changed in the last year or so, because I haven't really bought anything as far as new collections in the last year or so. So if anybody knows anything more about Reminisce, that's how I say it, please tell me. But this is called Woodland Elf. Is this not beautiful? And it's such a nice quality heavyweight paper. Here is the B-side. That's chocolate cake and ice cream together right there. That is beautiful. So that is just beautiful. So this is a big image that is story-based. So you could come up here with a title, journaling, and do a little sprinkling of some kind of sparkles, and you have a little fairy page. That is gorgeous. And this is what I mean by Reminisce. I don't know what you're going to get when you order a piece of paper, so I try not to buy this unless I see it in person. So here is Paper House. Now, here is, oh, well, there's that side. This side doesn't really do much for me. I would have to cover this up if I was to use that. But I like this because this is just a sand image. But this would be a nice, subtle, neutral, story-based paper to do a lot of journaling, a lot of reflective journaling, and it doesn't even have to be about it at the beach. Has nothing to do with the beach, has nothing to do with nautical. It just is a reflective type of paper. So when you're looking at these type of papers and you think, well, what would I do that for? Journaling. And just write your heart out. Okay, so here is another one. I'll try not to talk so much on each one. This is by Paper House, and they have really stepped up the game. This does nothing for me, high energy, but this is very pretty. This would be the pretty for a title page, and this would just talk about, maybe for me, a travel memory or a beach story or anything, travel, beach, things like that, that I would not have a photo for, but I would want to reflect. Now, this is my favorite paper ever by Paper House, and I'll tell you why. Because of that blue wood grain. Yes, this is by Paper House, called At the Beach Collection. You can still buy this. It isn't that old. I don't think they have a year on it. But Paper House, this is really quality too. Does it have a year? No, it doesn't have a year. But it's very pretty. And I'm not going to rush through this video, so if you just want to pause and get a drink, which is probably what I'm going to have to do, please do so. We're just going to sit and look at paper, because some people want some more ideas as to what story-based papers can be and what you can use them for. So again, this would be any story about the beach or any reflective page. You do not have to be at the ocean or the beach to use this piece of paper. It's reflective, it's calming, that type of thing. And of course, you know, Cartabella, I don't even need to say anything about that. That's a beautiful design. This is those heavy, big designs you don't know what to do with. If you don't put them on a piece of canvas or in a frame or just in a page protector as a filler, that is always an option for any of these type of papers that I'm showing. You can just do a story about winter or Christmas or a Disney movie. Yeah, that is. And so when I put them in the category, I put it up. I put the side that I'm going to use facing me, if that makes sense. And so here is another piece of paper by Reminisce, that's what I'm going to call it. This is the National Parks collection, and this is Yosemite. And so that, of course, some of these, they have an A and a B side that would work both for story based, but I liked it for this because this reminds me of a story, and I'll probably do it. Well, all of these remind me of story. That's why they're in here. But we were traveling out west, and we ran into the Grand Tetons. There was something going on in the car. That's all I'm going to say. That we did not stop and take a picture, but that image has never left my hubby's and I brain. But yeah, that reminds me of that, even though it probably isn't because it says Yosemite. But again, that's the same type of Grand Tetons. So many things you could do with this. This doesn't even have to be anything about traveling. This is reflective. Whenever you see a body of water, that's reflective. You can talk about any type of story your heart desires. And of course, there's the Great Smoky Mountains. I've never got to visit there, but it's on my bucket list. That's beautiful. But I would do that. Okay, so then we have the same national parks, the Grand Canyon, again by Reminisce. And it doesn't have a year, or I would give you, and of course you could tell, look at that. Yes, absolutely. And so this is the type of thing that if you have a story about a trip at the Grand Canyon or anything like that, and you didn't get a story, you didn't get a photo, I'm sorry, you could definitely tell the story. Here's Cartabella, you know, absolutely, look at that. Autumn. That is beautiful. That is your color scheme, that's your mood and feel. There's your design, there's your image, there's your photo, there's everything you need. Just come up here, title, some journaling, add a few little stickers, pumpkins, puffies, enamels, breads. You got it going on. Okay, now this is absolutely a piece of paper that I'm going to use for a layout because of one of my subscribers. She said that I had reminded her of a French saying, and I wrote it down, and this will be upcoming. You'll see it here probably within a month or so. And so when I saw this paper, I remembered that comment that she had said, and of course I can't speak French, but I will be spelling it out. And so I'm going to use that for that layout. Okay, so here we go. More Paper House. Look at that. That is gorgeous. This is Discover USA, and that does nothing. This is almost like, I'm going to say that these two images aren't even in the same ballpark. They're not even in the same stadium. They're not even in the same state. This is nothing compared to that. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful and quality paper. If something's thin, I don't usually keep it. So, of course, we have some old stuff, October Afternoon. And again, you could, story-based. I don't even need to keep talking. Here's Market Street, the map. This can be for any type of journaling, too, about moving, location, your bucket list, things, places you want to visit, dreams, goals. The map is not just for traveling. Absolutely not. Okay, so here we have another piece of paper. Again by Reminisce. This is Vintage Day called Simple Life. Look at this. That is gorgeous. It's very distressed, very vintage. And then look at that there. Whew. I probably should have bought two of those puppies because, man, that's gorgeous. And so you can tell that I was in a store. I was in a, I don't know if it was a camera store or where I was traveling, and I saw these papers one day. And so I would have never even thought to look at these online because I don't know what you're getting with Reminisce. So That's beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Here's some die cuts with a view. We have some sheen. And this reminds me of the new Heidi Swapp collection Wolfpack, but this came from die cuts with a view. This is very subtle, but you could do a lot of journaling here. That's very pretty. And then, of course, we have Paper House. Look at this. Oh, man. Now, I've never been on a cruise, but I definitely could use that for something. Yeah, that's just nothing. This is something. Absolutely. It's from Paradise Found by Paper House. This would be very pretty for the beginning of a title page. So these big images, if you don't want to do story-based pages, they definitely could be the beginning of an album or the ending of an album. And here we have some birch trees, and these are big images. And some of these I have duplicates of, and that's why they're in here, because I also have these in outdoor. So there, that's definitely, look at that. Gorgeous. I mean, it's almost like you could just reach out and touch this. Yeah, wasn't there a commercial, reach out and touch someone? What was that? The GE commercial, reach out and touch someone. You can't do that now, you get your hand slapped. No, but this is beautiful. Beautiful outdoor scene. I think I got some of these turned upside down. And some of these were just American Crafts or die cuts with a view. And anytime with the trees or outdoor, you can put them in your outdoor, but then I have duplicates, so I put some in story base. Another Cartabella fall break, look at that. And you know what this is going to be? Some of you may look at this and think the same thing. This is going to be about Gilmore Girls, because when I see this, I think of the intro to the Gilmore Girls show, and yes, that's what this is going to be about, the Gilmore Girls, because where you lead, you know that's where that's going to go. This is one I just added from some papers I'm going through, and this definitely, I think this is going to be about my music class when I was growing up. It's funny how you can see something like this and it just takes you right back to a time in your life. And an image like this, it doesn't have to be all outdoor and scenes. It can be big images and big icons. Here are some music notes. Here is some TikTok. 39 cents. Absolutely. I'll pay 39 cents for that. And so this would be good for school, documenting time, work, social, anything. Now these are, see, this is exactly what I mean. These are by Reminisce too. These are so thin, if I blew my nose, they would just have a hole. I don't understand that. It would be nice if this faith category, devoted faith, I have used a couple of these pieces of paper, if they would absolutely have been the weight of those other papers. So maybe they have changed their paper weight. I don't know. But this is, if it wouldn't have been so meaningful and spiritual, I would not have bought these papers. But they are pretty, but they're very, very thin. Again, here's some crepe paper. This is back in the day crepe paper. 2013. This is, I can't even get over the difference of what crepe paper used to be to what crepe paper is now. And crepe paper is more popular now than it used to be, but the quality of crepe paper was better back in the day, and some of you know what I mean. So again, this could be about so many childhood stories in the 80s, and this would be, you know, photo needed. Right there is your mood and feel. So here we have another One Canoe 2 Goldenrod. You can see there was a lot of papers in that collection. And again, story base. Here's a Midnight Forest. I guess I could show you the B-sides, but they're just ho-hum. This is where the action is, right there. Look at that. Again, any type. This could be used for anything. It doesn't have to be outdoor. This could be used for anything. Dreams, goals, disappointments, excitement, happy moments, sad moments. It could be used for anything. And then we switch gears and go to cows. And this is absolutely earmarked for a story. And I will tell you what the story is, but hopefully I will get this page done. I eventually will, because when my little one was little, she thought chocolate milk came from brown cows, and she thought white milk came from black and white cows. Now, is that not the precious notion of a child? Absolutely. She thought chocolate milk came from brown cows. So that's why that's in there. So I keep reminding myself to do it. And here is just an image of a bike. Here's another One Canoe 2. They have gorgeous images. And we just talked about One Canoe 2 in our Spending Freeze freebie. I'll have that video linked below. Go over and get some free downloads at One Canoe 2. Here is some Circus paper by Cartabella. And so some people would say, well, why wouldn't you not have this in? Why wouldn't you not have this in your Cartabella papers? Because these papers they trigger two different stories for me. One is from my little girl's childhood, and the other one is for my hubby and I. We both have a circus story from when we were growing up, and it shaped some of our thinking about things. And it's amazing how things happen in your childhood you just never forget, because they did truly, it was a defining moment. You don't know that at the time because you're a child, but if you can still remember it and it shapes your thinking today, that is a defining moment. And so that is what these papers are there for. And so of course, look at this Bo Bunny Avenues. This could absolutely be for any story whatsoever. And then we have this one here. I'm not quite sure why it's in here. Stargazer. I thought of it for something, so I'm going to keep it in there. I don't know. Happy Trails. I don't know. I don't know why I have that in story-based paper, but it's a big image. It could be about something. Again, here's the same image I showed earlier. Here is one. This is Cardabella. If it wasn't so cute, I probably wouldn't keep this, because that does nothing for me. But it says True Friends. And I thought about doing a layout about, you know how there's just some friends in life. It doesn't matter how many months or even years go by, you can still pick up the phone and it's like time never even stopped. You know, it's amazing how that happens. So here is Reminisce, National Parks again, Zion. There's the one side. Look at that. There's the other side. Yeah, that's so beautiful. You wouldn't want to put anything on it but a title and some journaling. Or a year. Or your family name. Beginning of a title page. Especially if you live around these areas. That could be, you know, for your family album. That would be pretty. So here is Die Cuts with a View. And this is going to be about a story about me trailing alone cross-country trip one time and at nighttime. And I looked out and that's exactly what I saw. City lights. So that's about that because I did some growth on that trip. And of course, you know, this is going to be for the 1980s. Music. This is by Bella Boulevard called Playlist. And this is by, I think, Pink Paisley. Wild Child. Number 8. And that could be story-based for anything. And then, of course, the clouds. You can never go wrong with the clouds to tab for story-based. Again, any story or any layout or any topic, any memory you have whatsoever. Here is another Reminisce. This is California. Yosemite on that side. And looky there. We got some grapes on that side. Okay. Reminisce, California. Big Sur. That is pretty. And gorgeous. Very pretty. You can tell I was at a store one time and they had this paper because I was astounded. The paperweight is very quality. It's not up to Cardabella, but it's getting pretty close. So here we have California again, the Golden Gate. I know a lot of people travel to that, so this paper here, phew, that's a beautiful title page or a beautiful ending page. Or if you were there and you didn't get a photo, but you want to tell something, right there you go. And then look what I have now. I have some baseball. It's called Play Ball. Now, I'm not digging that. Because sometimes, that's almost so close, so you can't even tell that that's a baseball. It looks something else, but it doesn't look like a baseball. That is very pretty. And then we have, what do we have here? This is Reminisce called Birthday Fireworks. Very pretty. Gorgeous. And then look at this, Up and Away. Look at the balloons. That's okay, but that is beautiful. Beautiful. This would be good for some reflective journaling when you turn a certain age or your child turns a certain age and you want to, you know, do some reflective journaling like when you turn 40 or 50. Yeah. Or when your child turns 16 or 18 or 21. That's good. And then, of course, you can never go wrong with music papers for story-based papers. For story-based layouts. This is Reminisce, and that's okay, but this is really pretty. And then, of course, and I got these for some dance layouts for my little one. And Express Yourself. Beautiful. Oh, I think every woman in life needs a piece of paper like that. That's pretty. And then look at this one here. Roses and Satin. Again, this paper is just gorgeous. And it's such a nice weight. I can't get over it. Compared to that Faith line, it's like night and day. So that is okay. But this, gorgeous. This would be pretty for a wedding or a birthday or the Mother's Day story. Anything soft, delicate, and lovely, there's your story. So now we get into some Enchanted, some castles, some forests, some wizards, some fairies. Castle in the Forest, again, my Reminisce. Yeah, that's okay. But look at that. Oh, I wanted to buy an extra piece of that for my sister because she is in love with castles. Again, Reminisce, Enchanted Tree of Life. If you love fairies, have fairy stories, have a fairy garden, these papers need to make it into your life. It's by Woodland Elf. That is the collection. Another reminisce. This is called Beaching It. So you see why I had to create a category, because, you know, a couple years ago I found some of these papers, you know, where you're going to put them, so you want to know where they're at. And, of course, look at this Cartabella paper. Absolutely baseball. Hey, batter, batter. Oh, man, that's gorgeous. And then, of course, I had this one, but then there's the B-side of that Farm Girl. And then, look at this. Under the Sea. Echo Park. Definitely. This reminds me of the Wild Thornberries. Does anybody remember that show? Man, that was a nice educational show. Love the Wild Thornberries. That's what it reminds me of. That is nothing. This is something. Story-based. And, of course, again, there's that map. And here's a map. Anything to do with maps. This would be a good title. Album, you know, an album starter. And so sometimes if I think I want to use them for an album starter, I will go ahead and put them in story-based, because where else would I not forget to put them? So that's where I put them. And then, of course, we have school, taking tests. SRA days, yes. And then, of course, more of this school. And another one of this. And this is Barnyard. So I have two of those. This would be perfect for school and nursery if you love books. And then to end this flip through, we have Reminisce again, Sunset in Paradise. So we're going to end this flip through with a beautiful sunset. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, this is what I mean by a story-based piece of paper. You can literally tell any story in your life, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, with this piece of paper. You can definitely journal to your heart's content, or journal just a little. Give it a title. Give it a little bit of a visual interest of a little bit. Just a little bit of embellishments. And that is your memory put to pen and paper. And that's the B-side. But look at that. That's gorgeous. Yes. So when you come across these papers and they spark an instant story, don't put it on the back burner and say, well, I'll wait till I have a photo to go with it. Because that's what I did for years and years and years. And then I would get frustrated with myself, because I would look through my albums and I would have Christmas and Easter and holidays and Thanksgiving and birthdays and going here and going there. But the stories, I was really missing that. I was really wanting that. I was really attracted to that. And so that's when I started doing story-based layouts. You don't have to have this type of paper to do it, but it certainly comes in handy when you get into that struggle. You're trying to find that perfect photo. Sometimes you'll never have the photo. That photo is in your brain. This paper helps you translate that story in your brain to a paper and get it documented. Absolutely. So that's what I have for this flip through today. I hope it was something enjoyable, and this category will keep growing as I come across papers, or I see papers, or papers are being released. If I see a story-based piece of paper and it triggers a memory, I'm going to get it and put it in this paper category. So what is a new paper category you recently added to your space? Please share below, because I love reading people's paper categories. Yes, because everybody always has a different take, and you never know what someone's idea will spark in your own space. Absolutely. So that's all I have for today at RTS. Come back, because you never know what we're gonna do. Enjoy that sunset. Bye.